We have Cedric Maxwell joining us on the phone right now. Cedric, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we want your reaction right off the top to the news the NBA has indefinitely suspended its season, and 2 players now testing positive for the coronavirus.
Well, let me give it to you the way I would give it to anybody. What the hell? I don't know what this just happened. And the fact of the matter, we just played Utah less than 10 days ago, so the word is that we might have to be self-quarantined because we played the Jazz team with Rudy Gobert at that time, and we don't know the incubation period of how long he's had the virus, if he could have passed it on or whatever. But we're right now in Milwaukee. Of course, Michael Felger's home, Milwaukee, and we're supposed to play tomorrow. And I guess we'll be leaving, just getting on the plane, flying back to Boston tomorrow.
Max, what do you think the apprehension level is on the team, and what's your personal apprehension level? You're right there with the team. You're, covering these games. You're in the arenas. So what's your apprehension level?
I was very serious about it. I mean, I was thinking about what happened in Italy, where they were quarantining 12 million people, and then, New Rochelle, New York, and, self-quarantine area there. So it definitely concerned me. And I was talking to a couple of people about it, and they were like, I think it's just kind of, I said, no, this could happen to the NBA. I said, all we have to do is have, God forbid, one player test positive, and then it goes down the line. What team did you play? What was the last team? Who did you play? What team do you go on from there? So it's a domino effect, and it is now happening. I don't know. I don't even know what suspending the season means. Does it mean it's going to stop now and then you continue on a month from now with the playoffs or what? But this is possibly the most crazy thing that's ever happened to me since I've been in the NBA.
Max, you mentioned you may have to self-quarantine at this point, given that the Celtics were obviously in close contact with Rudy Gobert. This news is still fresh. But have there been any conversations among team people that you know of in terms of what the plan will be moving forward here in the short term?
We just got this news. We were on the plane today. We were actually just kind of, on the bus, and I was talking to Jason Tatum and talking to Brown about this, and not anything in particular, but like how crazy it was. And Woj dropped the news that it was that the season. Something had happened and that this is what was going about that. And I was talking to the players, and they were like, well, gosh, they all were just confused, like I was confused. And I went to sleep, took a nap, woke up to a phone call, and somebody told me the season's suspended. I was like, I thought I was dreaming. Like, suspended for what? And then they told me Rudy Gobert tested positive and how they took players off the court. And I'm watching a Dallas game versus Denver, and just couldn't wrap my mind around it. Now I'm actually in a bar away from everybody having a Coke. I wanted something stronger, but they didn't have anything I wanted. Jeez.
Get rid of those germs, Cedric, any way you can, right?
Max, do you think when they do go back that there's going to be players who are going to be nervous to go back, or again, you use that word, apprehensive to go back? Do you think it's going to be hard to restart this after what happened tonight?
You know what? I don't know. Players have always been resilient about certain things like this. Do you stay in shape? I mean, that's the question. Do you stay in shape? What do you do? Do you play with your teammates? I mean, first of all, you got to be self-quarantined because you played the Jazz. Now you have to think about we're probably all going to have to be tested, and then we're going to kind of go from there. And it's really strange, though, when I say we, and I put myself in the context of the team because I'm around all those players. The only thing I've been doing is basically giving like a, elbow bump anyway. So I don't think, involved in that way, but it's just crazy.
Yeah, you talk about giving an elbow bump, but I mean, the NBA, certainly it's a brotherhood too. These guys they're competitors, but they're also friends at the same time. So, and also just the nature of the sport too. I mean, it's not like hockey where everyone's wearing equipment and everything else, or football, as you point out, it's outside, or baseball where this is a physical sport where everyone's in close contact. And I got to imagine that's got to put people at unease.
Oh, I am sure that everybody has to be looking at each other now with the crazy eye, like, damn, did you guarded Rudy? or you went out to have dinner with Rudy, or whatever it might be, and now you just see we were talking about degrees of separation. We were talking about Michael Felker when it said one of his kids, I think one of his kids' classmates, something happened, and he went into self-quarantine. Well, now look what happens to me, and somebody says we were 2 or 3 degrees from separation. Well, now all of a sudden, look what happens now, and I am right in the epicenter of what it is, and I'm stuck here in Milwaukee on a rooftop bar, sitting by myself, having a damn Coke. What is the world coming to?
Well, I'm wondering what the next steps might be, Cedric. When you guys get back to Boston, have they specifically asked you guys to quarantine, to stay at home? Are the Celtics players and yourself, anyone that may have come in contact with Gobert, are you wanting to get tested? Anybody kind of having that sort of rhetoric right now since you found out?
I haven't talked to anybody. I'm up here actually with my broadcast partner, Sean Grandy, and we were sitting there just talking about it. So I can't, and we were just talking about, people that you've been in contact with. And it's really funny, George Niang, who I knew his mother and kind of dapped him up at the game at the Celtics. Well, at the first Utah game, I think that was 14 days ago. So, yeah, there's a contact of somebody who played with this guy that I touched. So I definitely say everybody has to be quarantined. Everybody has to be tested.
Max, in closing, do you want them to fight to save the season? Do you want them to try and salvage it once the dust settles, once the doctors determine everything's safe, and if it's safe to go back and play the games? Do you want them to, salvage the season and have a playoffs and have a champion? Yes.
And yes. I think we look at this right now like a school vacation where you're just away. It's a lot more serious than that, but if in context, it would be like being away for a month, be away for a week, and then starting back up. And as it, projected now, if the season, like it says, stopped now, and you wanted to go back into the playoffs, the team that we'd be playing would be Philadelphia in the first round, and Philly would be coming to us. So I hope that they're going to do something like that. I think they will. At the end of the day, I can't imagine, even like a guy, and I feel so sorry for a guy like Vince Carter, who today played his last game, took his last jump shot, has been in the league for over 20-something years, and and it ends like this. This is just, I can't say unacceptable. I think the commissioner did the right thing. I think the league did the right thing by suspending it and going where we're going and testing everybody and then rebooting it at the very end of the day. I think that is a wise, very wise suggestion.